This podcast, bussin'.
Welcome to an episode of this.podcast where we have dope conversation, dope people, and compelling stories. I'm your friendly host, Jay, joined by my brother and friends. We got Mike.
You ready to boogie with that bear?
We got Co.
Man, what we talking about?
And we got Uncle Damo.
Hi, my name is Uncle Damo.
Yeah.
Shout out to Danielle.
Absolutely. Shout out to the video crew. We got Armand and Caitlin back. We missed them last week, but now they're back doing what they need to do, helping us out. You can follow this.podcast on IG at this.podcast on all streaming platforms. Apple, Spotify, Google Cast, Amazon at this.podcast, Twitter, this pod official, and viewership on YouTube at this.podcast. I want to give a quick shout out to Lawrence and Larimer for letting us have the beautiful space. I got my Beat All Odds hoodie on. You could get that collection, right, JC? That's out now. Come by and cop. And shout out to all our early listeners, family and friends, and all the support that we've been getting. Fellas, how's your week been? Good. Yes. Hey, so we got a special guest joining us. We got Colorado's career rushing leader with 7,804 yards. USC's all-time rushing touchdown leader with 57. Park Hill legend, Pirates legend. Welcome to the show, Lendale White. Let's give him a round of applause.
Hey, Lendale, does he get a slow clap or does he get a like?
No, brother. He gets a real clap.
Okay,
man.
okay.
He's official. He's on a different level. We call him Showcase among our group. You know, we grew up with him, you know, and he's a legend, and we're glad to have him on the show, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I mean, I'm around our family today, so I'm doing good.
That's what's up.
Shit.
Yeah,
man, our weeks don't matter when Lendale's in the building.
I know.
Just make sure we.
James is like, hey, how's your week?
Hey, fuck your week.
Lendale.
Hey,
Fuck your week,
crazy?
Lendale.
I was just gonna ask if cuss was cool. I ain't know. I just said shit, so I guess.
Oh yeah,
no,
we could curse on here, man. It's all good.
Sure.
Thanks for joining the show, man. We wanted to have you not only because, you know, you're a dear friend to us and what Denver's all about, right? Like, you grew up here, you got staples in here, like, you're just part of the Denver culture, man. And when they mention your name, it's like, yeah, I know who Lendale is. I know where he comes from. I know where his heart's at. So, man, let's start at the beginning, man, because you grew up young in Aurora, actually. We claim you in Park Hill, but you grew up in Aurora.
Well, yeah,
man.
I definitely grew up. I grew up in Aurora. First, it was on 12th and Moline, and then I moved probably a mile up the road to 12th and Ursula.
Got it.
The Park Hill comes into play because if anybody in here, well, all you guys do know that, you know, Herman White.
Absolutely.
He came every morning at 9 a.m., you know, so it was a 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. thing at 3334 Holly Street, which is, you know, Skyland, or for those that don't know, Hiawatha, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it goes back to Skyland, man.
Yeah, so that's where the Park Hill thing comes. And then, you know, I see my cousin over there. I used to be at grandma's house, you know, on Bel Air. So, like, you know, I definitely lived in Aurora, but when it came to mostly where my time was spent, you know, even at y'all's house, the Cains, you know, I was with y'all.
We had
so,
some
like,
wild days, yeah.
Yeah, you know, like, I was always in Park Hill. So, and shit, I was a pirate, man. So the Pirates got me to where I wanted to ultimately in life, so that was in the middle of Park Hill, so forever Park Hill.
Hey, so real quick, can we give a huge shout out to Coach Herman?
That's what I wanted to do.
Oh, there we go.
Absolutely. Let's give him a round of
Yeah.
applause.
Man.
He don't get the slow clap.
No, he gets official.
The standing ovation.
Because Coach Herman has really touched a lot of kids' lives.
It's
you
like
know,
the fabric, right?
Yeah, well, a lot of adults now and kids, and he's always been a staple in the Park Hill community and the Denver community in general. He's all over the place.
Yeah, he's a city. He's a whole city.
Absolutely.
Denver, Aurora.
Big Herm, when you coming on the show? When you coming on the show, man?
Come on, Coach.
You got to come on. You're coming on the show. You, Big Herm.
Back with him.
Yeah. So I saw Lendale at Legends Day for the Pirates, and that's how we kind of got him on this show. And I was excited that he came by. But So let's talk about let's dive into your childhood a little bit, right? Because as you described, you grew up in Aurora off of, Moline and Ursula. And for anybody that knows back in that day, it's not the Aurora you see today.
It's rough.
Well, nah, it was before the hospital was built over there and they tore it down. What was that? They had the trailer homes there. They had the Dunes Motel. It was like we used to call it Baby New Jack City. And now that I'm older, when I watch New Jack City, it's like it only makes sense.
It makes
what I mean?
sense.
Like,
Absolutely.
But the thing about it though, growing up there, it teaches you so much. You know what I mean? Because it teaches you, first of all, like I think love. Because no matter what it looked like, how we grew up, everybody there loved each other. You know what I mean? And we took care of one another. We might not have had a lot, but they'll give you whatever they had. So I remember, not having much, but the neighbor, whatever she didn't have, or whatever she did have, she'll give it over to us. Or, hey, I might not be able to feed your mom today, but the kids is good.
Absolutely.
You didn't know that moms didn't eat at times until you got older. You never knew that. You know what I'm saying? So, but even the fact that they were taking food off their table to feed us, but that's why I love where I grew up. You know what I mean? And I'll never take nothing away from 12th and Ursula because that taught me so much, man. Straight up.
But that's the meaning of community, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, and I mean it's changing now because I feel like the social media has definitely changed the outlook or the way people handle the community and the youth in the community.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And then so like when you think about 12th and Ursula, what are some of your fondest memories?
Well, I mean, there's just so much. I mean, because we moved to Ursula, man, because my sister was in a fire. Our house burnt down about 4 months before that. My sister was in a fire.
I remember that.
We were bouncing from hotel to hotel and stuff, and then we finally ended up over there. And we were still going actually to Vaughn Elementary before we transferred. So we were walking a mile, and we were kids. We shouldn't have been doing that by no means. But we convinced our mom somehow, some way to let us stay at our other school, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I kind of forgot what you asked me. But
No, your fondest memories, like
the fondest memories.
Yeah.
About that. It was really. I remember moving in, and my birthday was. I was 9 years old. And the address was 12920. So, and my birthday's 12/20. And my mom was just like, she gassed me up, like, this is meant to be. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we found a way, and I just remember when we first moved in there, my brother Kenny was out mingling like he always do. And then we met a dude named DeMarco. God bless him. He's no longer with us. But he was like one of the bigger dudes in the neighborhood, and he welcomed us. You know what I mean?
Nice.
And then like once he put his arm around us, like all the other kids used to be like, "Man, where's Kenny and Lendale?" They used to think we were twins and stuff, growing up. But
I thought y'all were twins growing up too.
I mean,
I did
everybody
too.
did really, because it wasn't like we definitely looked like each other. You know? But
same size and everything.
all that,
all that.
dusty sandy hair.
Absolutely.
Some of the other memories was Uncle Herman after we after we would get off of done with our duties at Skyland for the day, even though we didn't get a check, we just had to be there all day.
Yep.
He would drop us off, but I just remember like Saturdays we'd be sipping and riding Saturdays, right? And, he'll have
Coach
the music
Herb.
turned up to the max, but
To the max.
And the black Cherokee, right?
But it would be the greatest thing ever because it's like shit. There's no more. Nothing's going on. We get to ride with Unc for the rest of the day, just through the whole Denver, Aurora area with these tweeters blasting as loud as you
The
possibly
tweeters.
can.
How nervous was you? How nervous was you right on the highway with Coach Herman, man?
Well, man, it's
I
so
was
crazy.
scared, man.
There's one finger, but he also can flip them pennies at the person driving
Oh,
to him.
yeah.
What's so crazy is he's flicking pennies at
Road rage.
one of these ladies one day and cussing the lady down. And Kenny's in the back seat and happens to be Kenny's teacher. So Kenny's
wow.
back there looking, he's trying to hide
Trying to
Uncle
duck
Herman.
down.
He don't care about nothing. He going in on him, man.
Oh.
It was crazy.
Hey, one more. Talk about the times with Herman and Darcy.
Bro, well, so there were so many stories with them. Growing up with those two, that's how I learned how not to mess with Uncle Herman. You know what I'm saying? Because like
by their mistakes.
bro,
So
listen,
we'll describe Uncle Herman for the listeners of like who this man is.
Well, Uncle Herman is, I mean, there ain't even nobody really on TV like that you could probably say. 'Cause
Compared to?
Yeah, he's so aggressive, man. And back then, like, he was so big. Hands was so fat, like you didn't want to play with him. You used to
Could
wear
bench
shirts.
like 450.
Yeah, and it was well known.
Hey, won't
you
even
know.
warm up and
Right.
bench 450.
Yeah, just walk
Then
in
he
the
has a
gym.
shirt that says guns on it. He has it rolled up. I mean, it's definitely a large at the time. He's 265, y'all. So you can only imagine how tight the shirt is on him. And I mean, he was just the voice, everything. And there were so many kids that they used to go to Skyland that if he would say something, how they would react. So once we got older, you know, I mean, me just in general, when he would say anything, I'd look up at him and I was scared. I ain't gonna lie. Whatever he said was law to me. You know what I mean? But we would be in the car, you know, going to games, or the night before a game, Uncle Herman would be like, hey, you know, get y'all's pads out, lay them out. I don't want to deal with this shit in the morning. You know what I mean?
Hey, he had y'all, like you, Herman, and Darcy, to the T on your uniforms.
Yeah, we
Oh,
trained.
yeah.
Like, this is, okay, so, you know, there's a day where I guess Lil Herm decided he didn't want to lay his stuff out all the way and do what he wanted to do, right? So, you know, Uncle Herm come in there, man.
Start regulating.
It's like coming in with that bass in his voice, huh?
Yeah,
Damn it, you
man.
punk motherfuckers. You know what I mean? He started going, and you know, like Lil Herm's always been who he is, and that's why I respect him to this day. Like, he gonna say something. It may not be what you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uncle Herm didn't like that sometimes, you know what I mean? So Lil Herm say something, he'll look at him, he let him slide a little bit. Cool, we get in the car. He'll ask Lil Herm a question, and he's waiting for a crazy ass response, y'all.
Right.
Can't wait for him to say something, and you know Lil Herm gonna give it to him.
Yeah.
Lil Herm say
Man,
something.
Herm is a
back-
corporate version of his daddy.
Yeah, exactly.
dress it like-
Exactly.
They
But
just
back
alike.
then he, you know, he a little snappy. He say
Yeah.
something to Lil Herman. Lil Herman say something to Monk, and next thing I know, man, that big fist went across that damn car. And
Boom.
man, Herm's head hit the window, and all you see, you know, for about 20 minutes, Lil Herm looking out the window.
Looking out the window, looking at the mountains.
Puffing and puffing like.
Man, boy, the window's so foggy, he ready to kill everybody. But hey, and
But
he
nothing
gonna
he
kill
can
me
do.
about that. But yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I'm
You
looking
gotta
at him
take
doing
that
that,
one.
and I'm like, listen, I know what not to do. I'll tell you that now.
Two more
Nice.
people, Scrap and Sean.
Well, man, it's not fair because you know Shay Scrap is Siobhan. For those that don't know it, he's soft, man. When it comes to that.
Oh,
Like, man, I've never seen nothing like that.
Yeah, she
In
gets away with murder,
I've
man.
never seen it. I swear,
Like this.
bro. I've sat here with my little cousin, and you know, Siobhan's my dog. I call her Junior because that's my girl. But, bro, I've never seen nobody, you know, punk Uncle Herman the way Siobhan does.
Ooh.
Never.
Ooh.
That's
got
the
it.
only. Well, you know, I mean, there's not too many people, but Siobhan takes the cake because I ain't never seen nothing happen.
Because she's him. Because she's
Yeah.
him.
She's
All
him.
the way him.
She's him. That's why.
I love
Absolutely.
it, man. He finally met his match. That's the only one he met his match with.
Well,
you
let's
go.
talk about that a little bit because since we're on the subject of Coach Herm, like with a little bit of your rough upbringing, you know, in the area you were, and we're all familiar with it, like there was, you know, gang involved as far as like, you know, in the areas we grew up in, where you were at and things like that.
Yeah.
And Coach Herman, he was that father figure for you, right? Like,
He definitely. He was the. He was my uncle. I have him tatted on my arm, you know, and this
but
is
he's like
a
the one
family
that
tree,
put
but
the
no,
ball in your hand, right?
Yeah. Well, yes, for sure. It was seeing Darcy. Well, he put Darcy and you know Herman and then Kenny. So it was like I seen them do it for so long. It was only right that, you know, once it got to my age, he's like, hey, it's your turn. And for the longest, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it was like, man, I don't want to play football. I ain't gonna let them people hit me like that. Like,
Oh, wow.
I was like, it's not gonna happen. I don't want this to happen. Like, y'all can go keep playing. I'll go to y'all's games, and that's cool. You know, y'all can forge y'all's, you know, birth certificate, make y'all older. I'm gonna chill over here and watch y'all
Got it.
play games, right?
Got it.
And then, you know, one day my mom was just like, hey, boy, your ass ain't gonna be sitting here looking at me all goddamn
Not
day.
doing
Either
nothing.
You gonna
Yeah.
go to something, or your ass gonna be at the school, you know, doing some projects. You know, school was like, So I was like, man, fuck it, I'll go play some football, right?
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
And thank God I played some football because, you know, obviously you know the story. But
Yeah, where it turned out.
yeah, but man, I remember the first time we were supposed to play for the Pirates, but you know, Uncle Herman being so stubborn, there was a certain person coaching our age group. He was like, fuck that.
Raiders.
I ain't doing that shit. We're gonna go to Aurora. Y'all to the Raiders.
Yeah.
And we went to the Raiders, man. And I played, my first scrimmage ever was against, you know, my best friend, one of my best friends, Alan Webb. And they were older. And it was so crazy because everybody, you know, back then the Pirates wasn't nothing to be fucked with. You know what I mean?
Right.
The Pirates was it. You know, you might have Prince Hall, a couple teams here and there. You have the
I think you should say that again. The Pirates are what?
The Pirates was nothing to be fucked with.
Oh.
That's just bottom line.
Just in case people were wondering.
This might be a new day and age, and people might, but I even say that because you know the people that got these new teams were Pirates.
Yeah.
You know they trying to, you know, they might try to finesse and get out of there, but they're Pirates.
That's a fact.
That's where they started.
It started with the Pirates, so you know, we were just, man, the Pirates are nothing to be fucked with, dog. I'm glad to be a Pirate for sure, but.
Well, let's fast forward a little bit and talk about, okay, after, you know, the Pirates and middle school and everything, that's when you started to know, like, I'm good at this football thing.
Yes.
Is that where it started, or?
Yes and no. Like, you know you're good. Like, when you play PAL football and people talk about you, you good.
Yeah,
okay.
Good.
Like, you be thinking you're good. That's cool. You think.
Right.
So that's the main, like, you can think whatever you want, right? And
right.
I didn't really think I was good. I mean, I was making plays, right? I've always been nervous to play football. I ain't gonna sit here and act like I ain't never went out there and played a game and was like, oh shit, like.
Well, where does that nervousness come from? Do you think it's more like because you want to perform well? Because it's not because you're scared.
It could be that too. I ain't gonna lie. It was a combination of everything. I mean, when you're looking across the field, right, sometimes, and
dog, you're scared, man.
Yeah, you can see some people.
It's okay.
You know, right. I'm playing against you. I mean, as you get older, you play against growner people. But when you, like, I remember playing against a dude named Chris Gant. I think that's his last name, Chris Gant. He played for Prince Hall.
Got it.
And he was he was a big dude, but you hear about this dude, right? And you hear about him like, oh, he's a beast. And then you go out there and you're looking at him like, man, this motherfucker big, dog.
Yeah.
So, like, I used to get nervous. You know, I would be scared, if you call it, you know, the butterflies. But then I'm also looking at my mom and them, and she over there, you know.
What you gonna do?
You know what I mean?
What you gonna do?
And I'm like, shit.
Right.
Kenny right there. You got Darcy, y'all. You know, I got y'all, and it's like, shit.
A lot of pressure. Yeah.
Ain't nothing I can't do. And then it's like I used to gas myself up by talking shit. Like, man, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Watch me do it. And in the back of the head, I'm going home like, man, goddamn, boy, you just said so much shit, boy. If you don't go out here and do it,
hey, you got a lot of math equations out there, huh?
It's adding up now. You better go do some shit, man. Yeah. So it got to a point, man, where it just, once I got to high school, Uncle Herman was my coach again, right? And,
yes.
He, people say he featured me, but obviously he knew what he was talking about because, like, you know, as he gave me the ball, we had a team where, again, my best friend Alan, he went there.
Y'all's team was cold.
But the thing about it is these kids will never understand, you know, like, going through some, you know, changes. Sometimes you lose to get great, right? Allen was 0-10. He didn't win one fucking game his freshman year.
His freshman year?
Man, no, he's out there getting
blasted,
slammed around. He had a hip pointer. He had to get surgery at the end of the year. He's walking around with like crutches and shit. You know what I mean?
That's funny, but it's not.
And I'm coming, you know, off of the Pirate season. We just went undefeated. You know,
walking around all healthy.
Yeah, I'm all great. And you know, Uncle Herman's like, yeah, you going to South next year. And I'm looking at that nigga like,
are you crazy?
Right. Well, yeah.
Like, you want me to go to South?
Yeah, because when you're playing in the city, it's like, especially South, right? Like, not known for football or athletics in general. We going to South and we about to make a name for yourselves.
No, fuck that. Let's be honest, y'all. It's like, man, they got George and East, man.
It was George and East.
It's George and East. Like, so we live in or Montbello.
And Bellows.
Because I seen back then, you know, we watched Uncle Herman, you know, what's number 40's name, man? The running back, dog, before Darcy.
Tyke. No.
Tashaka.
Was it Tashaka?
Tashaka Smart.
No.
Was it Smart?
No,
oh, that's the coach, man.
What are you
talking about?
He played with Darcy and I. So
was he?
I remember seeing him.
Yeah, running back before Darcy.
Yeah, the funny story about that was that Darcy was starting. And this is when, you know, you look at coaches and you feel like coaches favor their families.
Yeah.
Right.
Darcy was starting. Tashaka just happened to, I just remember it was like he walked up in it was like an old fucking country western or some shit. We're at practice, all you see is Tashaka walking up the hill. Like there's like the fucking
and this is when y'all were at the Bellows.
Shined on this motherfucker, man.
Right.
At the Bellows?
Yeah, at the Bellows.
Okay, got it.
Wow.
Crazy.
And he so happened to be from the Bay Area. Comes in there going crazy.
Yeah, this
and Coach Herman,
Herman
had to say, And Coach Herman had to say, hey, this motherfucker can play. You know what I mean? And Darcy shared time with him. And Darcy didn't complain because one thing about Darcy, man, game respect game. Darcy didn't complain that one time. Like Darcy went like, man, fuck this shit. You know what I mean? Darcy just went in there. Darcy looked at this motherfucker, said this motherfucker can play. And him and Darcy could share carries, but Tashaka was the truth.
And
he was the truth.
He was one of my inspirations. I
the
can't
truth,
lie,
man.
yo.
Got it.
I will never forget him going in them games at Montbello, watching my uncle coach and watching Dog run the ball. I used to be like, damn. And then my cousin, Darcy, we was talking about 33, and I'm watching them, and it's just like, so we have all those different schools that you're thinking about. So it's like Montbello.
You're right.
East, George, everybody really want to go to East because I ain't gonna lie, man.
I thought everybody wanted to go to Overland.
Nah,
well, that's
wanted
in
to go.
See, Aurora people know about Overland because of the women, the pretty, the women.
Exactly, you want the pretty women.
But East,
But East
back
was the
then had
shout out to East High School.
East High School had all the women, man. Let's be honest. Like that's where you really wanted to go to school. Like it's like I'm going to East. We used to ditch and act like we went to school at East just to hang out up there, just to see all them girls, man. There was no way around it. But so then we check in the South, and I'm like, dog, we 0-10. How the fuck? Like, I don't want to go there.
Right.
And old grandma's like, nah, man. This is why I love to this day. Damn it, when I get kind of a little sad or like teary eyed about this shit because my has so much faith in his family. Your brother coming back from Texas. I got you at running back. Nigga Allen, he started naming. He's like, ain't no fucking way. Hell we go.
So he sold me to go to the Bellows.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who that? Yeah. Oh no, Calais came a year after that because there was Sean. Yeah, Sean's a year after him, and Sean's the same class. But then it was it was like Kenny Gaskins, Chris Fleming. It was like Days and Franklin. Yeah, Quentin Tweed. It was all the Park Hill. It was like Park Hill Pirates. Some of them was Falcons. Some
Prince Hall sprinkled in there.
Sprinkles.
Yeah, some sprinkles, but majority it was like Pirates. And the key players they all was some damn Pirates. And Uncle Herman was like, listen, with y'all, this is what's gonna happen. And I'm like, man, I don't know. All right, so we check in there. We having crazy practices, man, and shit, 10-1.
Wait, did you forgot Solid?
Solid.
He was in the mix too.
Herman, he went from being a 7-foot soccer player to a 7-foot tight end overnight because Uncle Herman convinced him.
Yeah.
And I mean, dog, that's what's so crazy. You had a dude that ain't never played sports in his life. Uncle Herman convinced him to play sports. In 2.5 years, this man got a scholarship to Georgia fucking Tech.
That's crazy, right?
It's because Coach Herman could will you into doing shit that you didn't think you could do.
He's
a master at that.
Yeah.
He can inspire, man. He can.
And you know what?
He know how to manipulate the best.
Yeah, he knows how to manipulate the mind. And granted, Coach Herman's always on 10, and he can't be wrong, right? But if you understand how to coexist with Coach Herman, like as a player, you're going to be great. And what I learned real quick with Coach Herman, even at Little League, is look, if he's wrong,
he's right.
Just make him feel that he's right. And just
Coach,
don't say shit.
I'm gonna do better.
Yeah, like I remember.
Even though I scored 9. I went 90. I got you. I'll do better.
Hey, shout out to Kimura for living with this dude.
Yeah,
man.
just make him feel that he's
for
right.
30 years.
Kimura White. Yeah,
that's my mom.
absolutely.
Shout out to her.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to her.
Hey, and to fast forward, you had an amazing high school career, and you're getting these offers. You decide.
The state championship.
What's that?
Oh, you try to take my state championship?
No, man. We know he's a state champ. He had the most rushing yards.
Yes,
the audience. We know the audience doesn't. The audience doesn't know.
If you didn't win a state championship,
the audience may not know.
Whose record did you break? Was that Dave Logan?
No, I think it might have been. Was it Darnell's record?
Darnell McDonald.
I played against Darnell
and Chris Rogers. One of them.
He was a
one
truth.
of them, but Darnell he's one of the goats.
Darnell
professional in anything he wanted to. Obviously, he
played
20
baseball.
years in baseball.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's crazy, y'all, because man, I just followed him on fucking IG.
Oh, really?
Straight up.
That's what's up.
I would love to see what that dude's doing.
I had hit him up, and man. Being a former football being a former athlete, y'all all know this, man. We all go through crazy, like some type of depression. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So sometimes when you hit them up and you tell somebody, you never know what they're going through. So hopefully you can bring them up. So I gave him his flowers while he was still here, and I had to let him know, like, yo, dog, I used to hear about you so
Beast.
much. I had to go
Monster.
hard, you know what
But
I
he
mean?
always was. You know what? He's always been solid. Because he was playing in the minor leagues in Arizona, man, when I was at Arizona State.
Oh, yeah.
And I would run into this dude solid.
Because he got drafted.
I
Was
mean-
it Atlanta he got drafted by?
No, was it Baltimore?
Baltimore. Got
And
it.
he would, and you know what's funny? He sought me out.
Nah,
That's
Courtney,
crazy.
And this dude's minor league, straight out playing professional baseball, straight out of high school. Saw me, Courtney Hysaw. Hey, what up, dog?
That's what's up, man.
Solid
That's
guy.
what's
So
up.
shout out to Darnell McDonald, man.
Straight up.
Solid dude.
All right,
That's all I did when I got cut from NFL Europe.
NFL Europe.
Uncle Damo.
Anyway, man, let's talk about champion in high school football at Chatfield, if I recall, right?
Definitely, yeah,
Chatfield, y'all had a monster team.
The Great Dave
Yeah,
Logan.
Great
Well, you know
Dave
what's
Logan.
crazy? Just another quick story about that. We had played them the year before.
Yeah, I did.
South
I
played
remember that.
Chatfield.
Chatfield,
Yep.
man, and they manhandled us, kind of, man.
They did, but
We also had, it was circumstances to the game. People were, not coaching.
Absolutely.
The reason why I ended up going to Chatfield, but the reason why I went to Chatfield, man, is because Dave was such a man.
he's a staple in
But it ain't even
in
that.
Denver.
That man is a welcome
athlete.
If you meet him as a player, it's so hard not to be like, I'm going to go play for Dave.
He's charismatic.
Man,
He gets it.
He's a
I'm
goat,
sure.
man. He knows how to finesse you into
I
playing
bet.
for him.
I bet.
But he also, he's running shotgun. He's putting you in the eye. He's doing like so many different things at the time. And my uncle wasn't coaching,
Right.
So it was like I had to find. I don't know if it was all on me at that time, but he was like, "Where do you feel comfortable going?" It was me and my cousin Sean.
Got it.
And me and Sean looked at each other after we met Dave. He looked at me. Sean really made a decision. He's
Right.
like, "No, we need to go play for Dave Logan."
That's what's up, man.
And I was like, "Shit, let's go to Chatfield, man." So we ended up going to Chatfield the next year, undefeated, 14-0, state champions. It was
Shout
a
out to
dream.
Sean White.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and Sean White
Sean.
definitely. Man, my nigga had 2 picks that game.
He did. He was balling.
2, or not that game. That it was
The game before where he iced it for y'all.
Yeah,
Overland.
We were all at that game.
It was a semifinal game.
I'm going to
and
Sean.
against Overland.
Overland.
Hold up,
Yeah.
I'm giving Sean his flowers, man. I'm
Yeah,
gonna tell you
he's
how
a
much
goat.
Sean is my
Straight the
guy.
fuck up.
I watched Sean in the cover 2 in high school.
Technician.
Fall off.
Yeah, he
it was a
clapped
slant.
and
Fell
bounced
off
back.
the slant. Fell off to the corner route and picked it. I said, Sean.
Sean is
And that was
technique.
the pick. And that was the pick that iced it because y'all was losing.
Well,
Yeah.
we was down 21 or
We were all at that
25
game.
at that game at that point, man. And I'm looking
Shout
at
out to
Dave
Sean,
talking
man.
shit like, man, you said we wasn't gonna lose,
I ain't come out here all this
Allen hurt
way.
his elbow.
Yeah, I remember,
You
man.
know, man.
were there.
So we were just out
That was a
there.
cold game too.
Freezing out there.
Freezing.
Ooh-wee. I think Tweed might have got a fumble. I don't know. There were some goats, man. Shout out to some other Park Hill Pirates in that game.
Antoine Tweed.
Right.
Well, no, Tweed
Quincy
was.
Wallen.
Quincy Wallen was
he
in
was
that game.
he was absolutely destroying us, y'all. No, he was he was everything. I don't know. And but hey Quincy, if you watched this, boy, thank you because you dropped the pick to ice the game. Hey, he had one too. It was like here and it just doom. And but
That's
it's so
God's
crazy
work
'cause
right
these was
there, huh?
kids I've been playing against these kids my whole life.
Yeah.
Right.
Either playing against them or with them. It was Vernon, Aramis Peoples. I just remember it, man. And that shit was one of the
Nice.
greatest. That was one of the greatest times in my life.
Man, shout out to Park Hill, man.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
There was pirates all over that field.
Pirates, man.
And we sealed that game. And I don't care who's watching and who feels some type of way. I know that the fact that me, Allen, Tweed, and Sean White, if we didn't transfer to Chatfield,
they wouldn't
Oh,
have
I
won.
don't know if they
Without a
would've
doubt.
won.
Anybody that knows anything about football,
And
absolutely.
hey, nothing to take away against Dave or none of them, but we definitely played a huge part.
Dude, you could be the best coach, but at the end of the day,
Not
you
the
need
players.
talent, man.
Hey,
You need talent.
Again, that bullshit with Belichick. And hey, I've been a Patriot fan for years.
Oh, yeah.
But I
Yeah.
really wasn't a Patriot fan.
We
I'm
were
a
talking about
I'm a
that.
Thomas
You're
Patrick
Brady.
Brady.
Oh, he's called him by his government.
Thomas Patrick
Damn.
Edward Brady.
Damn.
Hey
You know,
man, if
you
you
know why I
complete a
like
pass
that?
if you could complete a pass with a Super Bowl trophy from boat to boat,
Yeah,
you're a bad
you-
man.
he a
Oh,
drunk.
come on now.
Drunk.
Come on, man.
I'm a Tom
we
Brady
talking
fan.
about?
Played against him, and that's why I always will be a fan. And some of my friends used to be like, "Man, Peyton Manning's the guy," because
Fuck that.
and Peyton's cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
nothing's like time.
We'll get into that.
Yeah,
So
I was gonna
let's talk about champion recruiting process. You end up at USC.
Yeah.
Just tell us how that happened, because we'll talk about what happens next that everybody
I was almost
knows.
a Longhorn. Shout out to my homeboy VY.
Got it.
And Bo Scaife, because Bo Scaife's another, a guy from Denver, Colorado.
Absolutely.
We got to get him on here too.
Yeah, we do. We
Make
do.
that happen for sure. So I'm going through my little recruiting shit. I'm all over. I go to Pitt, because my cousin Darcy.
Right.
And I say Pitt because I'm going to circle back around 1 second.
Well, hold up. You didn't want to go to Wyoming with your cousin Herman?
Well, listen, y'all.
Hey, but it'll be some long nights in Laramie.
Hey, you didn't want to go.
Probably would have did some shit out there. I would have probably changed that shit.
Wait.
Oh,
man, 'cause they ain't
absolutely.
But what I'm saying is too
I'm with
cold.
you. No, absolutely.
You
I
didn't
used
wanna
to go
go-
to Lil Herman's games when I was a jit.
Yeah.
And I used to
man.
be out there, and I'll be like, nah, this
Hey,
is too cold.
You didn't want to go to Weber State with me, man.
Weber State, I went out there, and I'm glad I didn't because it's cold.
Got it.
Bro, y'all in the middle of a mountain.
Yeah.
And the only one who had a shot was
A
ASU.
State,
man.
yeah.
A-State?
Hey, I give my dog that all day because A State is one of them schools. But, you go in, I'm at Pitt. I go to, I think, Michigan. Oh, my God.
I thought you was going there.
Man,
I
Me and
so,
Darcy,
too.
me
Shout out
and
to
Darcy
Jason
thought you was
Avant.
going there.
I thought the 21
Braylon
was going
Edwards.
out there, man.
I forget my dog's name. He was a running back. He was a code number 23. But Jason Avant was my host, and so was Braylon Edwards. The reason why I didn't go there, it was fucking freezing, y'all. I went during
You
it
just
was
couldn't do the
December
cold weather.
or something, y'all. And it's just I'm like, dog, this is what y'all deal with for real. You got to walk the campus on this.
No, because that's a different kind of cold
It's-
up in
man,
Michigan.
dog,
That's like Midwest.
I don't
things
want
are
that.
freezing.
You would have been a
Yeah.
perfect back at Michigan too.
Man, no, they had it, and he was Lloyd almost got me. It was out of Michigan, Texas, and USC. Right?
I got a mean
I went
photo
to
with
Michigan.
Carr
It was
too.
too cold. I went down to Texas, man, and I'm like hanging out. VY cool as hell. I'm hanging out with some of the guys, and I go to Mac Brown's house, and we're talking, and Mac's like, "Ha, man, you're good, right, man? You're probably gonna get the ball to Said all next year, and then you're coming." You know what I mean? And I'm like,
he talking
no.
to you like
rest
that.
in peace to Said, because Said's not with us no longer either, man. But he's like, yeah, Said's our guy. And I'm like, yeah, Said Benson's that dude, right? And I'm
He was,
like,
he was
yeah.
that dude.
He was.
And
that
I
dude.
can't be mad at these people because I'm older now and I'm looking back at this.
Said
He's
Benson
a
was the
guy
dude.
from Texas.
He was the
And he's
dude.
the Texas running back. So
Absolutely.
it's hard to replace that, right?
Right.
And I go to USC, and the master guy, PC Pete, man, we call him Stinky P. He was so good at learning how to finesse us, man. And he's like, hey, man, when you come to USC, you're gonna be starting for the running back job. Be you and Reggie, and Herschel's our guy right now, man. But if you play the way you're supposed to, he's just he's doing his
Absolutely.
thing.
He's
And
a
I'm
fast
Yeah.
talker too,
Well,
huh?
You vibing, right? You like, oh, I like the way he's talking.
Then I'm remembering Boys in the Hood, and Ricky was supposed to go to USC, y'all, and I'm like, man, this shit is supposed to. You hear me? Y'all feel me? I'm like, this shit might be what it's supposed to be.
Got it.
Then I go on my recruiting trip. I'm with the guy. That's Mike Williams.
Got it.
One of the greatest Trojans receivers ever.
Facts,
Kerry
facts,
Colbert's.
facts.
He's a receiving coach for the USC Trojans.
Facts.
Now another
Facts.
one of the greatest Trojans ever.
Hey, man, met Colbert when he was a young dude, because he used to always come down to Arizona. For one, I was there when he took his recruiting trip to Arizona State, and his older cousin Tommy went to Arizona State, so he would always come to hang with us back in the day.
Nice.
So,
man.
so shout out to Kerry Colbert, man.
That's what's up.
Kerry though also has USC receivers playing on a crazy level. He had Michael Pittman and Amara St. Brown. He just got drafted in this year, right? So he had like he had what it was like, I forget the number, but he had like four out of the top 10
Awesome.
receivers in the Pac-10. So
Got it.
Amon
Pac-12.
Ra has a dope story too.
And but
Got
his
it.
dad, man, that dude's dad is a G, and he's I see why all his sons is in the NFL.
But talk about manifesting, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
His dad manifests that. He literally manifests his kids going to the league.
bro,
Got
his dad was Mr. World or All World, Mr. Universe or something. John Brown.
Was it?
Awesome story,
And
man.
yeah, y'all when y'all get home or something, you probably want to look it up. But this dude, all his kids went to the NFL, and it's just like when you talk to him, you can understand why.
Got it.
Man, it's ridiculous, dude.
So for you, So Pete Carroll got in your ear.
Stinky Pete. No, it was I went.
Stinky.
Yeah, we call him Stinky Pete. That's Pete Carroll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So who
Stinky
recruited you? That's the question.
Pete. Oh.
Who was your recruiter?
This, man, this podcast, I know people probably think I'm blabbering, but this shit can go forever. It's
No,
Ed
absolutely.
Odron, Lane Kiffin, Steve
Wait,
Sarkisian.
Legends.
You see what I'm saying here?
Ed, it's at LSU right now?
At Legends.
Ed Odron, LSU.
Oh,
wow.
Steve Sarkisian, head Texas.
Yeah.
Lane Kiffin, head at Ole Miss.
Right.
These are all head coaches right now, y'all.
They were assistants.
And these were my guys that used to be like, you're coming. You're going to be the guy. Lane was the first guy that ever showed up at my school. He had me and Alan in the
Lane
room
Kiffin, that's
talking, right?
crazy.
Young dude. And he's like, man, if you come here, you're going to be, he's just,
Yeah,
they're selling you.
Selling you, being a recruiter.
Right.
Yeah.
So then I go to USC and I'm with, Mike Williams and, all those guys. And fucking, I'm just hanging out and I'm like, I'm at the Fountain Blue, man.
Bring
Not
the mic
Fountain
to
Blue,
you.
I'm sorry. It's called the House of Blues back then before they tore it down in LA. And I remember just being and I looked up, dude, there was so much shit going on. That's for another time. But I was like, I'm going to USC, dog.
Dude, so let's
say I'm a fucking Trojan.
We're in the thick of it. They assemble one of the best college football teams in history. Just as you named, all the coaches there have gone places
I didn't even know all that, Jay.
to be successful head coaches in other programs. The countless number of NFL players, including yourself, Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart. Like y'all were the Beatles, man. Like y'all were the trio. Y'all flair, charisma. Y'all were stars, and y'all in the place where stars are born, right?
Swag.
So that's what, we have the conversation about to this day, whether it be Miami, because I get it. South Beach is crazy, y'all. If you ever been to South Beach, you'll understand what I'm saying, right?
Right.
Alabama, come on, it's Tuscaloosa. Like,
Absolutely.
stop playing with me.
Yep.
It's cool to win there, but that's all you about going to do there,
That's
right?
all you
Right,
got.
right.
That's all you got.
And then you go to L.A., Hollywood, right?
Hollywood story.
It's like, I love Miami, and Miami has a special place in my heart forever,
Yeah.
right? But when I go to L.A., and when you go to Hollywood, there's nothing like it. I just remember, I'm with Snoop.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You
Warren
rubbing
G,
elbows.
How much
Warren
coke?
G's son, y'all. Warren G's son. I remember him playing in a fucking Snooper Bowl in Jacksonville, fucking Florida, y'all. If I'm lying, I'm flying, y'all. This is like 15 years ago. He's drafted playing for the fucking Bills right now.
That's awesome.
That's
And
crazy.
he's like, I'm going to USC.
That's crazy.
Not only did he go to USC, he went
There was
to
a
USC
story
and got
about that.
drafted. I'll never forget this. This was a kid. I will never forget him. He was a baby. That man was like, I'm going to USC. And he knew it. He like, because Reggie Bush was his favorite player. It was me, Reggie, Dominique, and Steve Smith at the Super Bowl. And it was so crazy.
But
And then,
Lendale, so playing in La La Land, man. At
Yeah.
the time that y'all, was it the Lakers in y'all or y'all in the Lakers?
No, it was another. That's another side note. It was the Lakers because if y'all know, Big Shot had ended that dynasty, and I happened to be just won a natty. So I'm in LA.
So it's y'all.
So I'm in LA, y'all. Right? I just won a natty. It's All-Star break. Big Shot's in LA. He's like, yo, I'm coming to pick you up. Where you at? This is like a dream because
Wow.
I just want a natty, but he's like, I'm gonna pick you up. I'm like, yeah. So I
Big
tell-
Shots, Chauncey Billups.
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
So he's like, where you at? I'm coming to get you. I'm like, man, I'm in the dorms. Come get me. He's like, nigga, the limo be there soon. Don't worry, I'm there. I'll pick you up, right? And I'm like, I'm excited, dog. So
Yeah.
I start telling all these niggas in the dorm room, everybody, like, nigga, my cousin to be here. I told you niggas, like, y'all thought it was a game. You know what I mean? I'm going in. It's crazy.
Hillside,
Yeah.
Hillside.
All
This
that.
is Denver, the
Yeah,
hometown. We
bro.
about to run this thing.
What that man pulled up with this limo, dog. Oh, I had so many niggas because this is all freshman dorms, all the football players.
Right.
I done been going to every dorm.
How
telling
they
them what's about
react,
to happen.
man. How
But
they react.
they everybody's at that point. The Jaws is like, we like kids still. We
Right.
just
That's what I
18.
mean. Yeah.
We kids, and they like, man, what? That's Chauncey. That's Kevin Garnett. That's T. Lou. Like, they looking like, what the fuck going on? I didn't know that's all these people. And I'm like, man, I'm acting cool at this
Yeah.
point. I get in the limo, shaking hand, get in there, like, I'll let y'all niggas, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go on a crazy night with T. Lou. T. Lou had me out till forever. He took me home, made sure I got home, right, man. It was just, that was one of the craziest nights ever, man. But
That's
then,
what's up.
And then a couple months later, He's in the fucking finals
Finals.
against
That's
Kobe,
crazy.
Gary, Peyton, Shaq. You know, all them niggas.
Karl Malone.
It's
Man,
the
yo, here's a real
dynasty
question. Here's a
team.
real
Yeah.
question, man. You in LA, you living like, yo, you seeing life is moving 100 miles in front of you, man.
Yeah.
How many parties did you go to and you have to say, hey, it's too much coke on that table over there.
Man, what we talking about?
It's too much coke on that
There
table.
was not one of them I left. I ain't gonna lie.
He said, I didn't leave.
Yeah, I'm not leaving that shit. If that was out, I know it's about to go down.
Because they up all night. Because they up all night.
Hey,
I'm not leaving.
Can I tell a quick LA story?
Please do.
Yeah.
So it's like, yo, Lendale, we coming out. You know, we'll be out there. We, the Coliseum, blah, blah, blah. And Kenny and Sean were out there too.
Okay.
So we're in LA, me, my buddy Lucian, and my boy KG. And we're like, yo, we're in LA. Y'all in Washington State. And had a blast at the game. Went down after they played. The players are coming out. Bush, Leinart, Lendale. Okay, yeah, we gonna get up. Like, okay, you gonna take care of this, all right? Yeah. And then, we're gonna hook up after the game.
Yeah.
We go back to the hotel and we're like, Kenny, call us, blah, blah, blah. Kenny called it. He blew our phone. Hey, we were up in the hotel sleeping 9 o'clock.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hey, didn't get no parts of LA. We were in the hotel sleep.
Yo, I'm going to tell you how SC changed. So when I was there, when I was at Arizona State, SC was on their lean years.
Yeah.
So when I was a freshman, that's when Robinson was the head coach, and he was kind of that old school coach that had been there forever, and he just wasn't really engaged. So he ultimately left. I forget who their coach was at the time, but I became not really good friends, but I became acquaintances with Sultan McCullough.
No, Sudi.
Why? Because we used to run track against them when I was in high
He was
school.
in a bad car accident until he survived. But
Oh man!
Sultan,
But shout out to Sultan McCullough, man.
Shout
Cool
out.
dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
shit, but fast as hell though.
They were living in the hood, man.
Who, Pasadena?
Oh no! I'm saying their living arrangements at SC wasn't
nah.
nowhere near like yours.
Yes,
So
yeah, right.
Sultan's,
Bro, our living
he had a
arrangements-
shit. No,
Bro,
your living arrangements was
you
hard.
gotta understand. Once we
Sultan's
got-
living arrangements was
in the mic,
pretty
Lendale.
meager.
Well, you got to understand. Once we got a certain age group, you live better.
Oh,
but when
okay,
you
okay,
first started out, everybody live on Bud Lawn, Fruittown Mafia.
Yeah.
The thing about being a Trojan, there's nothing but gang members on
Sultan
every
lived
corner.
in the hood, man.
But
That's
there's-
what I heard. Like, that's South
the hood
Central.
Is,
Like outside
USC
of the
is the hood.
Yeah, outside
Bro,
of the
like
campus.
when think about when Smokey said around here on Normandy and Western, right?
Right.
That's 5 minutes from USC.
Y'all had
Right.
so much.
That's-
You see
that's
what,
what I
I'm
hear.
saying?
Nah,
Like, so
I'm
when
with
niggas be telling me, I'm like, no, nigga, even our houses had the gates on them. Like, no,
Y'all would
we
have
were on
so
campus.
much-
We had campus police,
It would be so much work
but the bars was on the window.
at the game.
Got it.
Let me tell you something. Because at SC, man, yo, well, I can't speak about when you was there, but when I was there and I went to SC, you had the visitors locker room and the home locker room is
Right
literally
next door.
right next door.
Yeah.
And when you let out the game, everybody's out.
Yeah, it's like,
And your bus is parked there. Everybody's family, the
yeah,
girls.
it's at the top of the hill.
Oh my God.
That's
That was
crazy.
Oh
But
my
no,
God,
USC,
it's so
you gotta
crazy.
think though, but we used to battle. It was Arizona State and USC. You know that.
But you used to kill us though.
But
So
that whole team, though.
I
That
know,
whole team.
I know the egos are coming out
Yeah,
right now.
the Pac-10 is getting
the
together.
The Pac-10. That's how you know they old school.
yeah, we used to-
the Pac-10.
So real quick, let's get back to y'all are stars in LA, right? You win 2 national championships,
yeah,
going for a third,
going for the
right?
third one.
So that third one, everybody expects y'all to win it, right? And things don't fall apart. It's just, things were unexpected on how good Vince Young was.
Well,
Right.
yeah. Well, no. See,
No.
I've been knowing about Vince Young since a kid because Kenny went to Texas, right?
Right.
And he came home from Willow Ridge, and there's a kid named TJ Ford. So it was TJ Ford and Vince,
Oh, TJ Ford, that hoop.
Hooper.
Yeah.
But see, these niggas, if you know something, like Kenny used to come back and always be like, man, there's a nigga named Vince Young, and there's the Hoover named TJ Ford. So like I
He
was
played football though?
No, TJ was just a hooper, but Kenny went to
okay.
Willow Ridge with TJ,
Got
so
it,
he's seen
got
it,
it,
right?
got it, got
But
it.
he always used to hear about a kid named Vince Young.
Okay.
So like growing me already, this was 9th, 10th grade. So I've been hearing about Vince all my life, right? This is Vince.
Yeah.
So I'm telling niggas like, yo, Vince ain't no slouch. This is Vince Young, y'all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that's a different story because it wasn't that we weren't prepared for him. It's just, man, like
He was a beast.
Thank you. Like when you when we talk about like sports, y'all, if we talk about like a moment, the man didn't win that Heisman. And if y'all know Vince Young, so Reggie won the Heisman, and Vince was up for that same one. And if y'all know Vince, like I know Vince,
Fuel.
what?
Fire.
That shit burned so deeply, and we gave him the stage.
So you gave him
we're not gonna act. He had 200 yards passing and 200 yards rushing. I don't know if it's ever been done, but he did it.
That's
right?
stupid.
That is.
So then we talk about like a stage performance. LA. The year before that, he played the Michigan team I almost went to, Braylon and them.
Tore their ass up.
Back and forth, he goes fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Right.
And then he's in the camera and he's like, I'll be back here. So like if you bro, this man, it's not that we didn't have it. Okay, Vince's knee was down on one of the pitches. We shouldn't have did one play. Like there's some shit you can look in that game, but when you know moments and when it's about, like you gotta take your hat off.
And that 30 for it was a 30 for 30.
It was like, it was one like a football life for 30.
Yeah, football life. Football
but
life.
like,
Man, that was outstanding.
Outstanding.
Outstanding
But what was
depiction.
going through your head
But
in
like,
that key play where you needed the first down to keep the drive going?
well, I thought I was gonna get it. The only thing I'm getting, I might get this. You know, I'm gonna get the first down in the game. I never thought in a million years they were gonna stop me, bro. Y'all got to think that same play I ran and I had like 3 touchdowns.
You
that
did.
Same
You
game.
did.
It was the same play
Absolutely.
that I scored 3 times on. So in my head, I'm like, they're gonna make it. Obviously, and that's why I fuck with Pete though. You know, bro, that's my dog. I can't stand him. We call him Stinky Pete. I love him forever, but I fuck with him because in that moment, he's like, listen, I'm gonna get a ball to Lendale. He's gonna get the first down, man.
Right.
And if I could rewind the play, everybody's like, why wasn't Reggie on it? Yes, we can all say why this, why that. When shit happens, you say that, right? But at that moment, that play had, I think if we do the numbers on it, I don't remember all the way, but it was like we ran that play 7 times. It was like
guaranteed
106 yards on that play and 3 touchdowns. So he's like, shit, it's money.
Right. You run that play 1,000 times, right?
Yeah.
Like,
and then
I would.
But also, shit, some of the, Rackpo was on that defense. You probably don't remember that. They got Mike Griffin. They got Cedric.
I do remember
Rackpo. There's players on that defense that won awards, that went to had great NFL.
No.
So it's like it was a bang out.
Yeah.
It was just happened to be Texas Day, man. And I played enough games. I won 30, I think, straight before that, or 32 straight before I lost that game.
Absolutely.
So I get it, man. Like it was day.
It was their day.
It happens, we all play sports before.
Yep.
I don't care how well. And
some athletes, you're right, it's just their day,
What?
and it's just perfect for them. You can do everything that
whatever
you've been
you,
doing.
I was in the right spot. I
Yep.
tipped the ball down. I did what I was supposed to. The ball tipped up and landed in the man. It's just like it was his day.
That's just how it goes.
And I mean, shit, him alone, he ruined the 3-peat. But him being my dog, man, I love my dog because he don't brag or boast about that.
Yeah.
Like, when I see him or talk or we rap, he's like 2'5", you know what I mean? He'll
Yeah.
be, or 2'1", he'd be like,
Because it's that respect, right?
Yeah, we got drafted, and bro, that was one.
Let's go there. Thank
Right.
you, Mike. Let's go there.
Go ahead, Damo.
Hey,
I saw used to take him up to Purple.
Yeah. Well, we brought him out here a few times. Yeah, Vince was hanging
So,
out
yeah,
here.
so-
Vince is a solid dude.
VY's been in Denver several times.
Yeah, he's solid.
I met him personally. Good dude, like stand-up dude, real talk, just like you are. And
Man, Vince is, bro, he gets a bad rap sometimes.
no, he doesn't. Like we're gonna
Well,
dispel
we gotta
all
dispel
that.
You're right, but like, what you
VY is a solid dude.
as it gets.
Yes, and just
Oh yeah. He said, him like that. You call him a VY?
you call him VY. I call
yes,
him VY.
he good.
Yeah.
Nah,
hey,
that's 10.
Vin,
yeah.
hey, VY, what's up?
Nah, he gonna fuck with it. He
Hey,
good.
no. So both of y'all are stand-up dudes. Birds of a feather flock together.
Yes, sir.
You move to the NFL,
Yeah,
Tennessee.
right.
You, Chris Johnson, the whole squad. Let's talk about it.
Right. you know, before that though, Chauncey had another All-Star game. In
Oh, see, he
Houston.
brought it back.
Well, I gotta talk about the party, man. Hold on.
No, he pulled up right. This is right after we had just met. I mean, right after we just played the Natty, and like he pulled up. You know, he hella G-wagoned out. He come with an entourage, but he hops out, and they like there go Vince, and I'm like, God damn, man, I can't escape this dude, right? And the first thing he says, hey, 2-1, come here, boy. You know, he hugs me, give me his number. He's like, dog, like if you need anything while you're here, you make sure you call me. He never said one thing about the game, y'all.
Yeah.
So that's why I say that. And I'm like, dog,
up.
the nigga, he's crazy solid. And then, you know, we fast forward, 6 months later, I'm sitting in the room. Vince gets drafted. Matter of fact, I'm at Skyland. Vince gets drafted.
Can I describe that day?
Oh, yeah.
Because all right, so
That was a big day.
it was, and
Yeah, I
were
wasn't
you
here.
You,
I wasn't
there.
in Colorado.
I was there.
No.
We were there.
I was there.
Everybody that lived in Park Hill basically was
It
there.
a big day, yeah.
Huge day. I never experienced anything like that as far as recruiting, and you're not getting. It's like a form of recruiting. You're getting drafted.
Yeah.
We show up, hundreds of people, just all throughout the new Hiawatha Davis. It was Skyland. This is Hiawatha
it's
Davis
Hiawatha
now. We're in the back. Well, Lendale's in the back room, you know, prepping, getting ready. His family's back there. Us three, Mike, Co, and I, are just out, you know, out and about in the center. Dude, there was so much love and things was happening, being fast. But all I remember is you showing love to everybody.
Everybody.
It didn't matter. Like, you was coming up like, yo, appreciate you coming out. Thanks for being here, spending time, you know what I mean? Like rap a little bit, go to the next person, do the same thing. It wasn't like, yo, pound, I'm out. It was like you showing love, because there was a lot of love at the center. And then, dude, when you got drafted, I think that whole place erupted,
Oh,
man.
no. That shit
That
was like-
whole place erupted.
It's like hitting a game-winning 3 or some shit for the
It
championship.
was, man.
Yeah, they went crazy, and it was like, it wasn't just, you know, like close family or people that, you know, I've known my whole life. It was like you said, it was like a community event, man.
It was.
Yeah,
And
it
I
was.
remember that Chauncey had just lost the MVP, and I had the Chauncey shirt on.
Right.
But when you say, like, you know, stopping and talking to people, that comes from, you know, Big Shot, man. Like,
100%.
dude,
Nice.
like I've
Shout out
seen
to
him my
Big
whole
Shot.
life, you know, like being who he was. He
And been the same.
Right.
He's never
and,
changed.
And he's been like, we talk
never
about me
changed.
being a star. That's cool, right? But Chauncey's been a star his
He's a
whole
star.
fucking life.
but
We
he's
were
never.
talking
But you
He's
would
never
never,
changed.
you wouldn't get it like from him, because he's not gonna treat you like, hey, I'm the guy.
Man, I remember when
He
Chauncey
makes you
brought
feel
the
like you're the guy, and he the whole
Yeah.
time he's the fucking guy.
I remember
right?
when Chauncey brought the Wraith out there, man.
Yeah,
And parked that joint in the Holly.
I remember that.
Yo.
He brought stardom to the hood.
Bro, what?
Everybody
He
was trying to
bringing
be
people,
Chauncey,
yeah,
man.
But he brought people like
No, and he brought people.
like people
No,
that normally
absolutely.
wouldn't come to Denver.
Oh,
like
yeah,
there was
absolutely.
motherfuckers that, bro. I remember
KG.
looking up KG was in Park Hill at the wedding, and I'm
Absolutely.
like, man, this go. And I remember, you know, T. Lou walking down the aisle. He just won his championship. This was right before I went to school.
I remember
and
that.
he was, you know, doing this down the aisle and shit. And they was like, man, fuck this. You know what I mean?
Shout out
But-
to Big Shot.
yeah, but bro, like he was one of the reasons
He
why
was.
the humility was so big, because like didn't matter what was going on when Chauncey showed up to Skyland, everybody was his cousin or family.
Yep.
Everybody.
And he still does it to this day.
Swear to this day.
We should get him and Piper on the show.
Yeah,
We should.
that'd be big.
Chauncey, please come out on the show when you're
Man,
done.
Chauncey's coming.
When you're
Y'all
done with
gotta
the
know, y'all
Blazers
know
this
You
summer.
don't have to fly out to Portland now.
All right,
man.
that's what I mean.
If that's
Hey,
what it is, that's what
that's
it
what it
is.
is.
See, we should take the show on the road.
Absolutely.
We should all go out there for a game. It happened.
Let's get back to the draft though, because although we were elated and excited, I felt were a little disappointed
Yeah,
because I think you went in there with after that happening, you got drafted. Of course, you was excited,
right.
but everybody in that building knew you should have got drafted higher.
Right. But you know that
And
comes
then-
from some shit that happens before the draft, right? You know,
Right. The
sometimes-
combine, right?
Right. There's combines. I not ruptured nothing. I tore my hamstring at my pro day.
You rupture your jeans?
Yeah, my jeans. They
Oh,
ruptured.
okay. Okay.
But yeah, I went to the combine, and you know, you do the combine, but then I had a pro day. I went to the pro day, and I had tore my hamstring right before I ran the 40. So, and that was like the last time you can really do anything before you get drafted. And you know, I knew it would hurt my chances. I just didn't know how high or how hard it would, right?
Right.
And then, you know, you go into the draft and you're sitting there and there's nothing, I don't take shit against, you know, I don't take nothing away against, you know, the guys like Lawrence Maroney or, you know, D'Angelo Williams or some of these guys that got drafted before me, right? Even if their career was longer than mine, I don't feel, there's nothing or no
You have
ill will,
no
right?
ill will
Even
towards
Reggie.
them.
But I still feel like I was better than all of them. You know what I mean? Now, if we talk work ethic, right, and we go into that, it may be a little different, but if we're talking about just a hog on the field, I believe I was better than all of them.
You are a hog.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What's bigger than a hog?
Probably a warthog.
It's just a torn hamstring.
Oh, no.
From mid-first round
For sure.
to early second.
Because if I go run the 40 and you even at 238, I think I weighed in at. If I run 4.4, it goes top 10 for sure because they don't expect you to run that fast, right?
Right.
4.5, definitely a top 30, 32 draft pick. So, with that hamstring being torn, I remember Bill Parcells calling Uncle Herman up or calling me up, and it was like a 22nd pick or something. And they took was it Barber? I think it may have been Marion Barber they took, right? Or it was something they were supposed to take me, but they traded out. It was something crazy, right? And then Unc's like, what happened? And I'm like, shit, man, maybe they didn't get to see me run or whatever. And then, you're just sitting there and you see more backs come off and more backs come off. And it's just like, yeah, there's definitely fire or something that sits there for sure, man.
Absolutely.
And then finally, at 45, which is crazy because Devin Hester's my partner, man, and he gets drafted after me. But Jeff Fisher tells me a story now that we're older. He was supposed to take Devin Hester.
Really?
Before me, yeah.
Wow.
It's a true story.
Devin Hester's
That's crazy.
And
Yeah,
Devin Hester might be a fucking Hall of Famer because he
Yeah.
has the most.
No, he's going to be.
Yeah, he should
Special
be for
teams,
sure.
yeah,
No, for
killed
sure.
it, killed it.
But he tells me that story. But the reason why I get drafted is because Norm Chow at the time is our offensive coordinator at the Tennessee Titans, and he's like, "No, I want Lendale." He stands up and he takes me. So, and then I get the call, and I'm just sitting there, and the phone goes off, obviously, like you say, and it's like, shit, I'm a Titan. But then things are running through my head. I'm like, oh shit,
So many emotions,
Vince
right?
just gets drafted. I'm
Yeah.
about to be teammates with Vince Young. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just like all kind of things. I go
Things
out,
coming full circle, right?
and I ran out the door. One thing I do remember about that is
Oh,
I ran
I
out
remember.
the back
Yeah.
door, and I had to
You ran to the field. I remember that.
and that's
yeah.
where I got, and because it just, man,
It was
That's where it
surreal.
started.
That's where it
That's,
started.
that's beautiful. Like you
brought
got
you full
drafted.
that
circle.
shit's crazy.
You ran out to the field where it all started.
Where it
and
all
then-
started. Give me
Full
1
circle.
second.
Okay.
Give us your favorite NFL moment.
The 99er.
Favorite NFL.
Was it 99?
80. I went 80.
80.
Sure.
Okay. 80.
80 to the house.
My
But
favorite,
there might be a hidden moment that we don't know of.
Yeah.
But give us your favorite NFL moment.
I mean, there's so many, man. I got in trouble. I got, there's shit that people probably would never know. Like I remember, I'll tell the funny story. Fuck it. One night, it's like a Friday night. We go to practice. We leave. Coach threw out like a hint, man. Like your motherfuckers better not be late, right, or some shit like that, right?
Yeah.
And or maybe it's a Wednesday night, and we got practice Thursday, but Thursday's not that hard, so we're like, fuck it, we go out Wednesday night, and shit, Lil Wayne's in town, so we go to the Lil Wayne concert, and we hanging the fuck out, man. We just hanging like we're college kids.
Absolutely, man.
And shit, it's like 4 a.m, and you're like, oh, we finally gotta go home. So we go, you get that 4, you're like, I'm gonna set my alarm.
Hey, smelling like
Right.
Cavassier.
But you're like, I'm gonna set my alarm for 6:30. I'm gonna pop back up. I know what I'm doing. Boom. Man, I slept through that motherfucking alarm, bruh. I look up and it's like 7:35, and I gotta be at practice at like 8:05, man. And my phone's going off, and I look down, and it's like CJ. He's like, man, where the fuck you at, right?
Right.
And I'm like, man, I'm about to leave the house. He's like, okay, fuck, good. I'm on my way to it. Right? So we both just sliding, man. We trying to get there, bro. We get to the damn facility, man, and we all late. And by the time we get there, we got to put on our pads and go straight to the field, man. And
That's crazy.
Jeff out there, he's like talking, and boom, boom. He's like, you know what? Matter of fact, bring it up, everybody. It's like, yeah, we have a few dickheads. He starts going in. He's like, yeah, we have a few fucking assholes.
We're not going to say no names,
Right,
but it
yeah.
starts with L and C.
Right, yeah. We're going to
It's
figure this
thunder and
out.
lightning.
I think
Yeah.
today we're going to make their ass run 80 yards every time they touch the ball, right? So like every time we did, we had to finish through. So we started off the 20, we finished it through, right? He's like, yeah, but first of all, I want to know what the fuck, why you guys are so fucking late and why you think you're above the team. He's going into all that, right? I don't even remember what CJ say, bro, but CJ smart. He get it up off of him, right? He asked me, I say, Coach, hey, man, my stomach was hurting. I had to stop and shit, man.
At the Piggly Wiggly.
Bro, that man looked at me, bro. There was nothing they could do but just look and start laughing.
Exactly.
It was like, motherfucker, you run 80 yards from here on out, though.
Yes.
But, bro, the whole practice, we got to run. And every play, y'all, if I think I'm lying that practice, he gave us it was back to back to back, me and CJ. We had to run 80, run back and go 80. And, we're still fucking drunk as hell tonight from the night before.
Smelling like Cavassier.
Like, yeah, so we...
It's funny what your body can do.
Right,
boy,
it's
when
right
you
there
young,
when you're
boy.
23. He's like, and I'm like, man, are you not entertained? We throwing the ball up, running back. We just having a good time with it, man. But yeah, that was one of the good times, man. And, Snoop came out to a game versus Pittsburgh.
Awesome, man.
Shit, we beat the crap out of him that game. It was like
Because he's a Pittsburgh fan.
no, he loves Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
He's a
That's the one when you
fanatic.
stomped on the
towel?
terrible towel.
Yeah, it was like a
He was
big
talking
game.
about that. We were talking about that outside. Yeah.
We stomped on that. It
That's
was-
dangerous.
No, it's crazy dangerous. You don't know how dangerous it is until you stomp on it, man. You gotta go to Pittsburgh next year. It was crazy.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, man, Snoop showing up to them games and just seeing how big of a fan he was, and like when the confirmation be a lot for us. Everybody be thinking you got a homeboy or a friend, but when he come out to a game that's 10-degree weather and he sits through the whole thing watching y'all play,
Showing
you know what I'm
support.
saying? Then
Yeah.
I score and I give him the ball and shit like that. Or then when you go to a studio and he has the same ball and the jersey and shit still put up, it means a lot though. So
Nice.
Man,
those
man,
crazy
listen,
times.
I remember playing with the Denver.
Wait, hold on,
We play
Coach.
up to Denver Gamblers. No, it's an awesome story. So
Oh,
with the
okay.
Denver Gamblers.
Okay. This is how it is when the
amazing.
football players get
Yeah,
together.
yeah. But y'all tell me y'all don't talk about football.
Yeah.
So with the Denver Gamblers, man, I remember the process.
This boy talking about
Not-
flag
not
football.
when we
Hey,
got
for the
guests.
listeners, he's talking about flag football now.
Not when we
We
got
went from
guests.
elite athletes in the NFL to flag
flag.
football. Pivot.
Oh, man, it's so good.
Yeah.
Damo.
Can't none of y'all play because
Pivot.
if y'all could have played, y'all would have played.
I could play, man. I was all right as an athlete, man. But go ahead,
You'd have
Coach.
been a
The Denver Gamblers, straight out of Mile High City.
He said, I don't know.
Mike would have been grabbing that water, man.
Go ahead, Coach. Get
Hey,
your
yo,
story off.
so I remember we had a so this is so the Denver Gamblers, for context, is old over the hill guys who got together and we pulled a couple of national championships together. You know what I mean? As Denverites, you know what I
Absolutely.
mean? But I remember in the process, Lendale was in the draft process, right? So we had a tournament out in Vegas, and I remember that Lendale had sent the limo for Herman and I. The limo comes and picks Herman and I up from the, we're doing Vegas cheap, so we're staying at the Orleans. But Lendale comes to Vegas on a humbug and gets put up by the Manouf brothers at the Palms.
For sure.
So I'm like, yo, so how old was you? 20 years old at the time?
I just turned 21.
And for
So-
the listeners,
Turn
the
20.
Malouf brothers owned the Sacramento Kings at the time.
And they used to own the Palms
So the
Casino,
Malouf
all
brothers
that. Yeah.
owned the Sacramento Kings. So I remember I was out there with the girlfriend. I was this girl I was dating at the time. So it was me, her, and Herman. We all get picked up. We come over to the hotel, and we all get to the Palms. And we get to the Palms. The line is long as hell outside. Because at that time, the Palms was a pretty famous steak.
Not yeah, but
Nine
the Nine Steakhouse.
The
That's
Nine
what it
Steakhouse.
was.
The Nine Steakhouse was a
yeah.
pretty famous restaurant back then. So you really had to have some reservations in advance. We get up there, we go right up to the front. Restaurant's packed, man. So they kind of open it up for us. This dude's just turned 21 years old, man, showing me the ropes, showing me, Herman, all of us the ropes. So we get there, man. They open up an area for us. They bring in a table. They bring in chairs. It's Lendale and two of his homeboys, and me, Herman, and this chick I was dating at the time. So we all sit down and eat, and Lendale's like, you know what? Y'all just get whatever y'all want. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm like, all right, you know what I mean? But I'm ordering reasonably because I'm assuming that ultimately I'm gonna have to pay for this, right?
Right.
But the girl I'm with at the time and Herman lobster, steak. Like, yo,
They taking full advantage,
Let
right?
me get let me get that Oscar.
I got the meager probably if I remember correctly, I got the meager maybe lamb chops appetizer
Right.
portion, right?
Gotcha.
Bill comes back, it's like, dude, that bill was probably about $5-6 grand.
Yeah, it was like
And I'm looking around like I maybe only brought about $900 there with me
For the entire trip.
for the entire trip.
You about to spend all your money at
I'm
dinner.
about to blow my load at dinner. Yo,
Pause.
but lo and behold, man, when David Wells comes down and giving you his card and everybody's shaking your hand and dapping you up, sure enough, Lendale comes to the rescue.
There you go.
Don't worry about it.
yeah, we good.
That's what's up, man.
We good. So shout out to Lendale, man.
Stand up,
Let me
guy.
get
Stand
that
up, guy.
So Lendale, bring us home. Bring us home, and let out of all the things you experienced from 12th of Uvalde to Chatfield High School to USC to Tennessee
To
and
the
your NFL journey.
Luxurious.
What do you
NFL
want? What do
career.
you want? What do you want the people to know?
I mean, that's a crazy question. I feel like, I mean, I don't know what I want.
No, about you. Just
Well,
about
shit,
you,
I mean,
about
it's-
your journey, or
It's crazy. I'm an open book, man.
Yeah.
Everything that's ever happened to me or everything that's ever been done is out there. You know what I'm saying? I don't duck anything. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? If there's anything somebody ever wanted to ask me, wanted to get some clarification with, I'll let them know. I've been through it all. Like you said, we grew up poor, right? Never had nothing. Made it to the NFL. Shit didn't go as long as I wanted to. Found some medium ground trying to climb back up. Like, there's so many different things in life. Like, what I do want people to know is that shit, like, from 1 to 35, 40, it's just like that don't really mark who you are. And although I've had a great NFL, great college career, like, I'm known where I go. I'm happy about that, but it's like that doesn't mark who you are.
If you could change anything, Lendale,
no.
what
Wait, let him
would that
finish,
be?
dude.
Let them get it off, man.
Well, I mean, it doesn't mark who you are. Like, what I've learned now that I'm getting older is that shit, there's still more to life.
Hell yeah.
So when I was playing from 1 to 18 and trying to figure out what I was going to do, and it's like, from 18 to 21, it's like, I'm going to play in the NFL. It's like, I never knew that once the NFL was done at 30, 35, whatever, that there was still more to life.
Yeah.
That's
So
what's
now
up,
that
man. That's what's up.
at this age, it's like I'm happy to be at this age, and it's just so much that you can learn and figure out, right?
Love it.
So I'm proud that I'm able, you know what I mean, to be a sponge and just learn certain shit. Like, I'm happy to be, y'all's family member that, seen what y'all have done in life, seen how far y'all have come. I've been in y'all's basements when we were kids. Took your fucking car
To homecoming.
homecoming. You know what I'm saying?
Smashing.
So like to like being where I'm at now, and just knowing that there's still so much more to life.
There
and
is.
I'm
what's up,
so
man.
grateful to be alive and to be able to still go out there and get it.
And-
Well said,
And
man.
yeah.
We're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap it up.
No. I just want to. I want to. Can I throw a flower? Can I throw a flower?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Lendale, we don't see each other often,
Yes, sir.
but when we do,
Great
we
times,
vibe.
always.
And this was a vibe.
This was a vibe.
Really appreciate you coming down, man. I love you, dude.
Man,
Busy
Appreciate you.
schedule. That's
I love y'all, man.
That
I
speaks to
appreciate
this
y'all
guy.
having me, man. Listen, like you said, in this world and what's going on these days, ain't no telling what's going on. So for y'all to, even my name to pop up and y'all to have me, because there's names and there's people that y'all can have. I'm appreciative, man.
You are one of them names
You're the
because
name.
you are a legend, man.
Well,
So what's the name? What's the name that you would throw out there to have on this
What's the
pod?
challenge?
I mean, I've been saying his name all night. I mean, if you got Uncle
Big Herman?
Herman, right?
Yeah.
You got Big Shot.
Yeah.
I'm an advocate of Big Shot, man, because of what what he possesses in his life and what he's able to give, man, because of what he's seen. I've never met a guy so humble
Yeah,
for
man.
what he's experienced.
I agree.
Shout out to Big Shot.
Straight up.
Huge.
So-
Need to come on the show,
If he can
and
get a
Coach
shot,
Herman. We're definitely gonna have you on the show.
Or
so.
you know what? What y'all might need to do is have the ladies of these men on here. That'd be big too.
Love it.
Go get
We're
Kim,
thinking about
Piper,
that.
some of them, have them all sit
Absolutely.
down. That'd be big too. 'Cause
Love
then
it.
You'll learn a lot of insight on them.
So
He'll
real
tell the
quick,
truth.
So real quick, Lendale, is there anything you want to plug or tell the people that's going on that you're doing now?
Man, yeah, I don't. No,
No,
I
they'll
just-
find out.
Yeah,
Yeah, you got
I
it.
got some
You
stuff
high
going
profile,
on, but
man.
no, when it, because it's still in the works, but it's definitely coming.
Okay.
And you know what I mean? But everybody knows I'm an advocate for marijuana, and I believe in it in the healing properties that it have. It's just not about being high. I'm talking about from the creams, tinctures, whatever you think.
Yeah.
Like I played football, man, and I popped a lot of opiates in my life. I've been addicted. I've been through some bullshit. I've been depressed, but I'm an advocate for marijuana because it helped me come out of that. It helped me leave the pills alone. It helped me, feel like my body's kind of better. It's not great, you know what I mean? But I feel like
It helps you cope.
yeah, not even
Well,
just
not cope, but just
with the medicine. They have
Yeah.
actual tinctures and creams and stuff that help
Yeah.
you feel better.
Absolutely.
To where I don't have to pop a Oxycontin 15 and feel numb, where it's not going to do nothing for you. It
Right.
just makes you
THC,
feel
man.
crazy.
Right.
So
absolutely.
yeah,
man.
I mean, I'm an advocate. So I mean, just I would, if anybody out there thinks that marijuana can't help them, and it's not just marijuana, there's CBD. I would tell you to do your
Absolutely.
research and just figure it out for yourself.
Love it.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap it up.
You got it, brother.
You never stumble upon the unexpected if you only stick to the familiar. So go out there, do dope things, change your life up like my man Lendale. And thanks for coming on the
Hey,
show, man.
Great
appreciate
great
y'all having me.
conversation, bro.
Great
Absolutely.
conversation, man.
Yes.
We need to
Great
do part
conversation.
2 again.
Yeah.
This podcast, bussin'.